What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna put this bad boy to the test. No, not the Milwaukee grease gun. Let me move these out the way. You guys know I love these little things. Bam! Well, this one's not so little. The Jackery. Check this thing out. So a lot of you guys actually requested and said, well, Eddie, have you tried the Jackery? I tried that other one, the 600 watt. Personally, I do. I have a Jackery 1000 there, but this is Jackery's new 1500. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna just cut the BS. I'm not gonna do all this, you know, oh, let's test this and battery and all that crap. I'm gonna actually put this thing to the test, and I'm gonna actually hook it up to my trailer. So, as you guys know, I'm getting ready to go take the trailer out. But what I like to do is, I'm gonna try it without solar. Now, mind yourself, that thing, you can hook up, I believe, up to 600 watt panels. So you can pump 600 watts in that thing and have it, you know, regenerate the battery. The toy hauler over there, the big ding ding, so that thing's got one solar panel on it that's 210 watts, and it sucks. It's garbage. It can't do anything. So, and what I'm gonna actually do with this Jackery is if it does work and does work good, I'm gonna just mount all 6 of these solar panels on the roof and use the Jackery, because if it can pump 600 watts, you know, I'm not really using that. I mean, my fridge, with the fridge on electric, I think it takes, I wanna say 433 watts. So now, is a Jackery like that gonna run like an AC in there? No. Is it gonna run a smaller AC unit, maybe like a mobile van or someone with a smaller application? Heck yeah, 1500 watts, you can run a lot. I mean, coffee makers, you can run a ton of stuff. And we're gonna try that and test all that out. And here's these solar panels right here. So this is what's awesome about these panels too. You can carry them just like that. They're light, they don't weigh anything, these things. They just unfold. They got little magnets right here. Bam, just like that. And you can put all of these bad boys, hook it up to the Jackery, pump 600 watts in that thing. So that's a good amount of watts, guys. So this is what I'm gonna do is, right now, we're getting ready to leave. And I pull the trailer, I pull it right here so I can wash it, rinse it. But I usually run an extension cord from this garage out, keep it plugged in, just keep the batteries full and keep the fridge on. But we're not gonna do that today. Today, we are actually going to use the Jackery. I'm gonna unplug it, I'm gonna hook it back up, and I'm gonna be getting ready for about 4 or 5 hours. Now, I wanna try it without solar. So I'm not gonna use no solar panels. I'm literally going to use strictly just the battery. And I'm going to leave the fridge on electric, not propane, because I'm gonna put that thing under a little load and see what it does. Now, mind yourself, I still have right here this little Honda 2000. And this thing, I mean, ran literally everything. Coffee maker, you know, air fryers that my wife used, pretty much anything she turned on except air conditioning and microwave. If I want to run the AC, if single AC, I will hook up the bigger generator right there, that 4500 30 amp. That thing will run one AC. If I want to, I guess if she needs to run like the microwave, either that one or the big generator has to go on. If I want to run both ACs, the big one has to be on. Nothing's gonna run both. Both those ACs, I think, pull like 35 amps or something. So that's a 50 amp system. So right now what we're gonna do, let's pull it out and hook this Jackery up and see how it does. Okay, right now it's still plugged in, so we're gonna take all the jacks down, get this thing off the jacks, turn that bad boy on right there, and we're going to retract all, bam, and just like that. It's gonna start lifting them up. There you go, coming off the ground just like that. And then it will, you don't have to touch it, see, it will automatically stop and stop beeping once they're all up. There you go. So now we're done. We can just turn that off and we're good to pull out. We're gonna go now, hook up the forklift and pull and take it right over there. All right, I'm gonna start the forklift up over here. I'll let Forky warm up. There we go, before she pulls out the trailer. I use this right here, this attachment, guys. Hook it right to the trailer, and bam, she pulls it out for me, so I don't have to start the truck or use it just to pull it out. Okay, guys, we got the trailer up here. We're going to now pull it, take it, the Jackery inside, right over here. And the reason why I'm taking it inside, I ran the extension just right out there because I'm gonna wash it. I'm gonna hook it up, hook up the Jackery right over here to this little extension here. But what I'm going to do, so you can see currently right now, the fridge is still on auto, which is not on gas. So you see how I have that gas pushed in? The reason how it's on and not plugged in is because it's running off the inverter. So currently all this stuff, this fridge, you can see here, see the solar's charging it? So we're currently running off of just the inverter and the solar panels. But this thing, as you can see, I will show you here, that it's drawing more than what the solar panels can handle currently right now. So here's the inverter, and I will show you so you understand. See, so it's inverting right there. And then if you go to the details, so you see that? It's not showing a negative, or it's not showing a positive, the current. So if the solar was taking care of everything, this would be at a positive, not a negative. So it's sucking right now 30.6 amps from the battery. And I'm pulling, currently, what the inverter is pulling right now is 3 amps, or the toy hauler is pulling 3 amps. So now, watch this, and we're doing 374 watts. It's pulling right now with the fridge and everything on. So, I'll show you guys here. We're going to now, I'm going to turn that on. We got it 100%. You're going to see the watts right here, or the output, not the input. The output watts. Let's plug it in. All right. And this thing, what's nice is they're not that heavy, guys. They're pretty light. Okay, so that's on. That's plugged in out there. Give it a sec. You're gonna see everything switch over. You'll even see on the phone right here, everything switch over. Oh, you hear that? See the fan? Boom. So it's 600. Woo, 1500. So it's slammed this thing all the way up. Look at that. 1400 watts right there, because what it's trying to do is it's currently trying to bring the batteries back up to full. So you see that? It's pumping 70 amps. So now I'm curious to see how long this is going to last for. Just because, and mind yourself, this is a 1500 watt Jackery, and it's pulling over 1500 right now. So I'm going to see how long it lasts for. Now, if you pull a consistent 1500 watts, you can see here, I'm going to get less than an hour. It's saying 0.8 hours. Now, it's not going to do that because once these batteries get back up to full, the voltage or the wattage will drop. So currently, I'm surprised it's running because look at, I mean, it's 1500 it says here, so it's still going. I figured it should pop, but it's not popping. So I guess we're just gonna let this sit here. We got no solar, nothing hooked up, and you can see right now on my inverter app here, it's not gonna say inverting. You're gonna see it's gonna say bulk. See that? Bulk charging. So look at that. It's slamming power right now. Everything is still on, guys. So, well, stay tuned. We're gonna go wash this thing and let's see how this Jackery does. Okay, guys. So looks like after 4.5 hours, this finally died. Now, what you guys need to know is this thing, I unplugged it a lot and I kept it. First of all, it ran at 1500 for probably 30 to 35 minutes, and then once the battery got full, it dropped down to 400. It ran 400 for another, remaining of the time. That's with no solar. So imagine if you hook up those 6 panels, which it would be obviously giving you 600 watts, and you're using an average of probably 200 to 400 watts. This thing literally all day would be running your whole toy hauler, trailer, whatever it is. Now, this big monster that it comes with right here also comes with a cigarette lighter. Right over here, you can charge it this way also. We've got it plugged into 110 outlet. So it looks like max it's going to give you is just under 300, and it's saying from 0 to 100, it's gonna take, call it 6 hours. So now imagine if you doubled that, cranked it to, call it 580 or 600, you'd cut this in half and it would be done in 3 hours for you, which that's amazing too. So they've really, Jackery's really stepped it up. And I'm also very happy that they actually put their name so you can see it. So before there was Jackery right up here on their 1000, And then right here, I think it said like Powerhouse. Well, you know, I mean, that's cool, but I would put the name, you know, your Jackery name all over, just like they did. So I'm glad they listened on that. Next thing we need to do, guys, is we need to check and confirm this is a pure sine wave inverter, not a modified. If this is a modified sine wave, I'm trashing this thing. I won't even use it. But I know Jackery, I know their quality. They're putting really good quality stuff. I mean, for this thing to run over 1500, that means they got a good quality inverter in it. Weight, it's not that heavy either, guys. I mean, I picked this thing up and like with no effort at all. It does look like it's all just regular, you know, ABS plastic, nothing fancy there. But let's go see if this is a modified or pure sine. Okay, we got the oscilloscope up right here. So once we plug this in, if this is a square like this, that is a modified sine wave, and that's nasty. You don't want that. It's a very dirty power. We want a pure sine wave. It's gonna look like a nice clean wave. You're about to see it right here. So let's put that into there. All right, that's that. Check it out. Bam, that is a nice, pure, and clean sine wave, not modified. Well, Jackery has done it again, guys. All right, now let's just see how much this weighs. Let me turn that on here real quick. 32 pounds, look at that, guys. That's light. So I believe one of these lithium iron phosphate batteries was about 28 to 32 pounds. So that's pretty much what you're holding. And I mean, you get a lot more. That's strictly just the battery. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys are saying, Eddie, why do you want to deal with this? You know, isn't this a headache? You know, yes and no, guys. So not really. If you want to go out, I mean, what's it going to take you? A minute to set these panels up? You know, I understand another generator, just fill up with fuel. I'm not disagreeing with that. I have one. Look at this bad boy. So this thing's a beast. It's a 4500 Westinghouse. It's got a 30 amp plug on it. I mean, it's got everything. But the issue is, number one, lugging this thing around, it is so heavy. Don't even try to pick it up. I mean, when I put it in the back of the truck, I use the forklift. I throw it on the forks, lift it, push it in. It's just too damn heavy. You know, is it a workhorse? Of course. I mean, this thing will run this entire trailer and run an air conditioning. But I have to put fuel in this thing, you know, depending on if I'm pumping some serious watts out of it. I'm going to put fuel probably at the end of every night, and this thing swallows some fuel. So if with me, guys, and with technology these days, if I can go, you know, solar power generator with an inverter and not bring this, I would not bring it. Reason being is, number one, if we use the toy hauler in the summer, we mostly got full hookups. For this weekend, we were at Thunderbolt races. We did not have hookups. So when we had to run the AC, I just ended up turning on the big 5500 watt 50 amp built-in generator, because, well, the only generator that's going to run both air conditionings is this massive, you know, 10,000 watt. This thing is so loud and obnoxious, I'm not bringing it, so I just use that. But for when we are in the desert and we're not using AC because it's so cold, we're using lights, we're using fridge, we're using, you know, the small little stuff. It's a waste, you know, to bring this big beast right here just to run some lights when this thing is maintenance free, no oil changes, no fuel, no spark plugs, nothing. And, you know, I know this thing will be able to run this entire trailer. That's why my setup is probably, I'm going to keep this 1500 Jackery in here, probably set these panels up somewhere, and just, this might be my permanent setup right here, guys. Okay, guys, so the battery now is full in the toy hauler. This is saying so it's running 2 refrigerators right now and some lights. It's using, call it 375 watts, saying this will run at 3 hours. Now, imagine hooking up, and we're gonna do it. These panels right now, we're gonna hook it to this thing, and then what I'm gonna see, and I've tested, this hour meter is extremely accurate. So we're going to now hook up the panel and see how much that changes. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at this, guys. So this thing has now just went up. I literally just plugged them in. We're only at 250 watts. This is pulling 370. This thing is saying it can almost go 7 hours. So imagine that. Your Jackery can run your toy hauler literally all day. All day. You can use your coffee maker, your fridge. This thing will run it, guys. I mean, this Jackery's got some power. So guys, I've told you a lot of pros with the Jackery, and there is. This thing, you know, it's got some power. It will work. But there is a couple, I'm not gonna say flaw, but some stuff I wish they would change. So right here, with these inputs right here, the Blue Yeti, you know, the rest of the competition is using MC4 adapters. And another thing, guys, you know, I really wish they would bump up the watts, you know, when plugging it with their massive brick over here. I mean, this is a big boy. I wish they would take it to, you know, 500-600 watts. You know, not the only thing I saw was 300, you know, a little more. I wish they would get it a little higher to charge quicker, you know, pump some more power in this thing. I mean, it's not bad, but you're talking, you know, from 0 to 100, it's going to take you about 6 hours to charge this thing, where if they double the power, cut that in half, you know, call it 3 hours, it'd be much better. See what happens when you overpower this Jackery, when, you know, say, I don't know, you just pump too much power. See if this thing's going to blow up, start smoking, or what. So we're going to go with this heat gun here, my handy dandy Milwaukee heat gun. We're going to go just on the single setting here. And, oops, let's turn this back on the display. All right, 650, we're cranking it high. Okay, so let's see if it even gets to 1500. It's still set, you see there, 1500, that's set to high, that's hot. Let's go back here. There we go, so it's at the 1500 mark. So now we're maxing this thing out, 1500. Does have a 1800 watt right there, pure sine wave. So let's just go full bore actually. There we go. 16, whoa, 23. What the heck? Wow, look at that, guys. All right, this thing's, I'm sure, gonna die. Okay, let me put this down. Put the heat gun down here. And let's see, let's actually see how long this thing runs for. That's crazy. So it's at almost 2,300. I gotta turn this thing away from me. Wow, look at that. That is very, very impressive, guys. All right, well, it makes me want to pump some more power in it. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to, you know, show you and bore you with all the tests, but I did a test personally for myself to check it. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not gonna bore you and show you me hooking up and doing all the tests with my product, but I did test it, and I did notice for the AC capacity, I got 1,230 watt hours out of the 1,488 watt hours, or you can call it, you know, 82-83%. And that's about average for, you know, the solar generator industry. But overall, guys, I think Jackery is a great product, and I'm gonna try to see if I can just keep getting bigger ones and bigger ones for you. And this season, actually, desert season, I'm going to actually bring this big 1500 with me and put this thing to the test, set up the panels, and see if this thing will run the toy hauler all day by setting up those panels. I believe it should, but we're gonna put that to the test and see. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to click subscribe. Peace.
Yeah.